It's fight week. The gloves are off and somebody's getting slept. This is Flamingo Fight Talk. I'm your host, Kelby Cedarquist, and with me today is my little
I'm
buddy.
so,
And
yeah,
there's a
that's a little
guy over
buddy. I
there.
can't have my buddy here. I'm your co-host, Derek Schramm. Buddy, I love the pantomiming you did with that. That was somebody's getting slept. That was
Somebody's
so
getting slept.
corny.
Dude, show everybody your little buddy.
Where did I put him? Oh,
While he looks for his little buddy. There he is. Yeah, he
yeah,
over here looking
pretty
like
good.
Leonardo
Pretty
DiCaprio.
somewhat similar. I think he's a little bit better looking. Yours
Never.
is a lot closer. Your hair was closer at the time.
Yeah, which is alright. I didn't know you had
So,
one too.
yeah, I got myself one, of course.
Okay, that makes sense. But,
I
well,
wasn't just going to give all you guys one. That for those of you to know, that is the groomsmen gift that
yes.
I gave them for my wedding. Was and of course I bought myself one too because
Yeah.
I didn't want to be left out.
Exactly. You don't want to have yourself left out with anything, Derek. You know?
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about groomsmen's gifts. We're
Nope,
here to talk
we're
about
not.
fights. And
We are.
oh my God, UFC Seattle was by far the best card of the year.
Oh, yeah, no, UFC Seattle was absolutely insane. I mean, what was it? Three, no, four first round finishes in the main event, main card? Or was it three and there
Uh,
was one at the end of the prelims? Anyways, people were getting stuff. We had a women's fight girl knockout. It was absolutely insane. Alexa came in and just BOOM!
Yeah, the entire main card was finishes. And yeah, all of them but one was in or all of them but two are in the first round.
Okay, so three of them were in the first round. And then even in the prelims, we had a few of them that were finishes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was an insane card. What's his? Why my phone's tripping right now? But yeah. Oh yeah. Forgot about Chase Hooper. That was. I caught
Poor
the.
Chase.
Yeah. Yeah. That Chase Hooper is one of those guys that people loved and wanted to see succeed, especially after his first win that he got in the UFC. But we all kind of knew that he isn't quite ready. Even with this fight, it still kind of showed that at a high enough level in the UFC, he's not quite there just yet. He's still gonna need more time, but he's a fan favorite and people love him, and you gotta respect him for that. It is what it is. It's the fight game, and sometimes your favorite stars gets beat.
Yeah, so he goes in and his first fight was actually back in 2019. That was Usman versus Covington, the first
Wow.
one. UFC 245. He fought Daniel Tamer, and he actually got the win in the
Yeah.
first round. He ground and
Yes.
pounded him.
Yes. It was a
And
great
yeah,
win.
and then after it was in the very next, you all saw in that first fight, like, okay,
Yeah.
he's clearly has no stand up whatsoever. He's just
Correct.
gonna grab you to drag you to the ground, and he had some
Yes.
submission ability, but he was like, man, he was a kid then.
Yeah. He was a
And
baby.
then his next fight was
Yeah. It was a bad.
Alex Caceres, and I remember we watched that. That was the Nunez versus Spencer card. I think that was
Yeah.
Amanda Nunez' last fight at featherweight. But yeah, oh my gosh,
Remember that
what?
conference that Dana White had after that fight, and Dana was like, "Yeah, never again we're gonna have somebody into the UFC that young compete at that
Yeah.
type of a level." He says, "No matter who you are, you just need people to be more developed,
And he
and you can't."
completely broke that because Raul Rosas Jr. is still in the UFC. And yeah, you know what? Hold on. You know
Yeah, hold
what?
on. We got some
There are
beef with
some
that. Rosa
comments.
Jr.
There are some comments about that. People acting like I'm a Raul a hater. I'm like, no, like the guy is not a you like okay, yeah, here's my point. I understand to you guys the caliber of UFC fighter is much lower. For me it is much higher
Yes,
because that's what it used to be. So like yeah, I know they're in the UFC. That doesn't mean they're a elite fighter now. Okay? It's like he's good. He's clearly good. He would be a regional champion as he should be as he develops his game. Does that make sense? Okay, I
no, it makes
wanted to
total
address.
sense. It makes total sense. But I mean, they were those comments are rough on you. They were just saying you're what was it,
Moron
bandwagon.
was my favorite.
They called you the R word, which is not allowed on TikTok for some reason.
I didn't actually see that one. Uh That's a
They
moron.
just
I
said
did see
you're.
that.
They mainly said you were just a hater, hating on him, and then he beat the
Yeah.
one guy, and everybody kept mentioning that.
Okay, he beat a guy. Like, it's not that he's not good. Is that he's not like. And here's like, so here's another example of this. You remember this, buddy? Back when we were
Mhm.
watching it, fights back in the day. How many
Yeah,
fights could you lose in the UFC in a row and expect to stay in the UFC?
it was like three, two.
Three.
Yeah.
Three fights. If you lost three fights in a row, you were gone. You know, and I think actually I heard it. Someone mentioned it today. I forget what show it was, but they're like, it was probably Morning Combat. Shit, sorry.
You
Yeah,
got this.
Dan Hardy.
Yeah,
He was like one of the first big fighters to hit that four fight losing streak, and they actually came out and said, you know what, we like Dan, blah blah blah. We think some things didn't really go his way. He's not going to get cut, no worries. But yeah, like back in the day, they used to cut guys on this stuff. Nowadays, you know, we have 500 fighters in the UFC, and guess what? Like Michael Johnson's pretty much a 500 fighter. He's really fun. Like that's like there's a lot of fun guys that are like have terrible records. But it's one of those things where it's like these guys are undeveloped and all this. Like, look at Alex Hernandez. He's like the exact same thing. He is a guy that was super young, got pushed too soon, and then because he wasn't properly developed, but he already got to the top, because you are going to get wins. He's just been back forth, back forth, back forth. He's a 500 fighter. He's probably never going to be ranked. And
correct.
that's the thing with Raul Rosas Jr., even though he has the fan base, he gets a bad loss, then yeah, he might just be going back forth, losing, and never get there because he got rushed too soon. Look what happened to Darren Till. He doesn't even, he's like scared to come back to MMA. Because Tyron Woodley beat him so bad. Like, come
Yeah,
on. Or actually it was Jorge, but
yeah, the whole Darren Till thing is wild, but yeah, there's a point when you do got to realize that certain fighters just need more time, and we're in an age where if you come on a scene and you get really popular super fast and you got a great fan base, UFC is just naturally going to want to push you and push you to get the next big fight to be able to obviously do sell tickets and whatnot. It's a business. But at the end of the day, he is a person, and you're literally putting his livelihood on the line going into the cage and fighting Savage, especially once you get up into the higher ranks. And he's going to meet somebody where it ain't going to work out too well for him. But I mean, he got the win against Rob Font, so I guess we shall see.
so he's ranked like yeah, and like that's like he's ranked 13. Like here's the people immediately above him. Vinces Oliveira, Peyton Talbot, Marlon Vera. And like, you know what? Frankly, yeah, I got put him against Cheeto. Let's see what happens. Cheeto's pretty much washed. So like if you want to keep kind of like moving him up, sure. But like right after Marlon Vera, here's the next people, and there's no way Raul Rosas beats any of these next five. Ready?
Go ahead.
David Martinez, Mario Batista, Davison Figueiredo, Amin Zahabi, Song Yudong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bantamweight is way too stacked a division for this guy. I'm sorry. Like he's good. He's good. Like, but like, and like, yeah, I love Rob Font too, but fucking Rob Font's washed. Okay, like, yeah,
Yeah.
it happens. You know, if you're going to special make Raul Rosas Jr. the way up there, yeah, probably Marlon Vera and then Davison Figueiredo.
Yeah.
You look who's the worst between like how bad Sean looks after his next fight. Fight against Zahabi. Oh, if Sean loses that, then yeah, you put him against Sean O'Malley. And then at that point, he beats two former champions. He can skip the other five guys that are more deserving, get a title shot. That's how you can promote around this stuff. It doesn't mean he can beat most of the top 10.
No, you're totally correct. But we're not here to talk about Raul Rosa Jr. for 7 minutes straight and go on for another 7 minutes. There was a couple
It's
fights that I really
okay.
found interesting. The Michael Chiesa Nico Price fight was wild. There was what, four punches thrown in the whole fight,
Well,
and
yeah,
Michael
but
Chiesa got
let
the dub with the
let's
submission.
work our way up actually, because you mentioned the Chase Hooper, so let's work our way up from there. Because I watched all these fights.
Okay.
Um, Past that, did you?
I missed the next one, and then I mainly watched the whole main card because this was when I was having problems trying to figure out the YouTube live. So
Okay, okay.
it was in the background the whole time.
All right, let me just talk about this Tofik Musayev versus Ignacio Bahamondes fight.
Yeah,
So, buddy, you said you missed this one.
correct.
So you might have noticed in between the Chase Hooper fight and the Terrence McKinney Kyle Nelson fight that there's like about a gallon of blood spilt all over the octagon.
That's right. I watched when he got cut.
That was
Dude,
this fight.
that was this fight. I forgot. That was insane. There
Fight
was
of the
so much
night.
blood.
Amazing fight. Dirty fight.
Yeah,
Cheating, dirty fight. Headbutts, fence grabs. That round two fence grab by that completely changed the fight. Maybe it's wild. And then the twice headbutts
yeah,
and then just yeah. Wow, what a fight. I mean, it's going to have an asterisk for me because absolutely
like,
Bahamondes got the ref should have stopped that fence grab, or I mean he
yeah.
probably couldn't stop it, but he would have had to like I guess can you interject and put him on the ground over a blatant fence grab? I don't know if you can do that because it's not like you can break it up. You can take a point.
Yeah.
I guess he could have taken a point, but then it would have been a draw. I think, right?
Well, in that scenario, if that happened during the fight, then they should have taken a point.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. And then after that, I mean, it was an elbow, I believe, that opened him up. It was just vicious. Tofik Musayev is damn good.
Yeah,
I want to watch his next fights. Talk and like this is where like yeah, okay, definitely he cheated with the fence grab and he was dirty with those two headbutts he snuck in there. Those were mean, but
yeah,
this like I haven't seen ground and pound like that in a while, and
yeah.
I loved it. Like it was fight night. That it wasn't my favorite fight of the night on the card, but it's up there.
Classic ground and pound is everyone's favorite cup of tea. Doesn't matter if you're a grappler or a stand-up guy. Everybody loves getting
It's ground
go
and
grab
pound
pound.
is fun. It's terrifying too.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my
like when
God.
you all right. Let's move up to the next one. Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. Damn, Terrence McKinney just does not matter. Round one, it's going to get settled.
Terrence McKinney, with all the stuff that they were saying prior to the fight and what of a savage he is, I was still kind of questioning it. I'm not questioning it anymore. Like, when you mean by precision and complete force, he's like a tornado just came in there, and it was just a perfect masterpiece first round finish by him. He's going to be special, and I think he can really. He showed a lot of people in that fight. I mean, he gets some of the fans behind him, gets UFC behind him. He can go.
Is this the best? Is Kyle Nelson the best name he's? That's the problem with Terrence McKinney.
Yeah.
Here, so I mean, he's 8-5 in the UFC.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So and like he just yeah, he goes like an action man. Most of it gets done in round one. Occasionally, it gets to round two. But let me just go through his
He's
career in the
around him.
UFC really quick. And knocks out Matt Favola in 7 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, chokes out Faris Zam, loses to Drew Dober. That's definitely the biggest name I think he might have fought,
Yes.
but loses to Dober. Chokes out Eric Gonzalez. That's his standing choke that he got. And then he got flying knee knocked out. Terrence McKinney did by Ismail Bonfim.
Yeah.
Loses again to Nazim Sadikov. Beats Mike Breeden, beats Brendan Moreau, loses to Esteban Ribovic. Oh, he's pretty good too, Ribovic. Wins against Demir Hadzovic, beats Vyacheslav Borshev, loses to Chris Duncan, now wins against Kyle Nelson. And like fun action fights. Can you believe none of these fights, by the way, got a bonus?
What?
All of them in finishes. Not he has yet to earn a UFC bonus. Wild, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, and frankly, hey, Terrence McKinney, yeah, he should get a bonus. But yeah, the guys that got the bonuses, I think, probably deserved them. Even Joe Pyfer. But Yeah, Terrence McKinney, it's like, you kind of want to see a next step from him, right? And like, I think Drew Dober's probably the best name he's fought.
Yeah.
I don't know what his best win is, Matt Frivola, like, or is it Kyle Nelson now? So it's kind of one of those things where I'd like to see the next step. You know what I mean?
He's that guy that's so fun to watch.
He's 31. You know what I mean? It's like
He's in his prime.
it's it's time. If you're
It's
going to
time.
do something with this, it's
Yeah.
time to do it.
No, yeah, you're definitely not wrong. It's time for him to make the official run for it and really try to push it and get up into the actually reign. Which, I mean, after that performance and some of his other performances, it's hard to argue against it. But like you said, he
Yeah.
just hasn't had too many opportunities to showcase it.
Yeah, and he has a lot of losses, but
Yeah.
he's fun and exciting, and it's like you can put him against some guys that make it fun, but I'd like to see what he can do because damn, he's dynamic.
Yeah.
The next fight, did you watch that one? Mansur Abul Malik losing to Yorisi Belgaru. I think that's how you pronounce
Correct.
the name. You did see it?
I watched parts of it.
I was kind of in and out, having to do something.
Yorsi, he
Every
was
time I
very
looked up, it was wild.
yeah, it was a very wild fight, but Yorsi definitely won, even if it went to decision, even though he did get a knockout, he was going to get the win either way.
I mean, he was winning on the cards, but yeah, he got the knockout.
Yeah, he was just winning completely across all three rounds, and then he finished it off with a knockout in the third round. Great fight. His stand up is absolutely insane. I don't think he ever tried to get a takedown. He did defend a few takedowns, but he did get taken down a couple times, but it didn't last that long. Um, True stand up, fun guy to watch. My first time ever watching him, and I was thoroughly impressed.
Yeah, that was my first time. That final round was fun. It looked like
Yeah,
Malik gassed a little bit, but fun fight. Next one up, I actually did miss this one. Laren Douglas versus Julian Erosa.
yeah.
So, did you watch this one?
I watched the knockout. Did watch a couple clips from it. It was relatively somewhat even, even though Loren Douglas kept the pace on him just a little bit more, and then he got the right combination, and at the end, he got the knockout. This
Hmm.
is the first round knockout too. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. No, this is
All
one.
right.
It was a no. It was a fun fight. I mean, this card is absolutely insane.
This was a great card. All right, let's get into the final three, and this is where I think our discussions are going to start
Yeah.
getting fun here. I mean, I've been enjoying this so far. I hope you have.
No.
And if, dear listener, you are also
No
enjoying this,
kidding.
please like, share,
Michael
subscribe,
Chiesa.
send it around. Contact an advertiser and demand that you get stuff hawked to you by us
Yeah.
at Flamingo Fight.
And one of these days we'll be selling these bad boys. This is our pre-marketing push for people to be like, "Hey, you guys should sell those." Yeah, we really should. $9.99, I think, is a good price. I don't know. I don't even know how much you bought them for. Wait, no, these are custom
They're
made.
yeah, they're custom. They're
Two
$30
hundred
probably.
dollars for a bottle.
Get your own on Etsy.
But anyways, Michael Chiesa, Nico Price finals.
Michael Chiesa in his retirement fight against Nico Price in
Yeah,
his retirement fight, apparently.
yeah,
That was weird
yeah.
and that was fun.
It was fun.
Tell me,
Only
you take the
one.
way. I got things to say on both sides.
Yeah, I'll just give a brief summary. It was a one of those. It was to me, it was a weird fight, just because it got to the ground so fast. I wasn't expecting to get to the ground so fast. I mean, what was it? Only one punch actually got connected. They threw like
Hmm.
four or five in total. I mean, might be known for the ground game, but I mean that was insane. And Michael Chiesa shows why he was always a decent fighter throughout the UFC. Never was the best, but fun fighter. Fun fight. It was just one of these another fights where you just sat there and you're watching it and you're like, how's this already over with?
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, who was originally Michael Chiesa was originally supposed to fight Carlston Harris, which absolutely Carlston Harris, he was on a two fight losing streak too, but I think he would have been a better matchup or a
Yeah.
more competitive matchup than Nico Price. I like Nico Price. He's been in a lot of fun ones. But you want to talk about terrible records? 8-11.
Yeah,
4-fight losing streak. He had beat Alex Morono, who Alex Morono at the time that he beat Nico Price, if I remember right. Oh, that was his 1-fight win streak, and then he's now currently on a 4-fight losing streak. That's what it was. So yeah, he got a win over a guy that then got on a huge losing streak, and then yeah, that's in between. Like the guy does, like he gets wins in between his losing streaks.
yes,
You know what I mean? It's frankly, he's still riding off that 2018 Randy Brown knockout from the bottom position. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And probably his best win, Randy Brown. Alex Oliveira was dated. Alex Morono's not good. But yeah, look at
Well,
this.
he's the one guy that the UFC will throw somebody at him, and if they can beat him, they can move up. If you can't beat
Yeah.
him, you're just not going to make
Except
it.
he's not even really that high because, like, he got ground and pounded out by Jeff Neal.
Yeah,
You know, frankly, I'm kind of surprised he never ended up fighting Neil Magny. But, like, I guess that's what tells you about Nico Price. He never even got to fight Magny because he never really got to contendership.
no,
I'm not trying to hate on Nico. I actually like him a lot. But I mean, they sent Nico filled in on short notice for Michael Chiesa. That's great that Chiesa got to do his retirement fight in Seattle. He deserves it. He's had an amazing career, but yeah, it was a what was it? Sorry.
it's always fun when a fighter gets to fight in their home crowd and retire off
Nico was
there.
a plus 600 dog. He didn't have a chance in the
No,
fight. Yeah, like um
the UFC
Michael
was right on.
Chiesa did what he needed to do, took him down immediately, took the back, choked him out.
Yeah.
you know, Gave him the win, got the highlight package. What do you have to say about Michael Chiesa's career? Any particular highlights?
The finish, like you said, on his back against Randy Brown was wild.
Well, no, that was Nico Price, like I
I mean,
said.
Nico. Oh,
We can. I mean, that is probably Nico Price's highlight of his career.
yeah. Sorry, Michael Chiesa. No, I don't. He was always kind of more boring to me.
Grapplers.
No, no disrespect.
I mean, okay, so I will say, I think he was on like one of the last real good seasons of The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
That was back in 2012.
yeah,
15 that he chokes out Ali Quinta.
yeah.
Um, that was a good one. And then yeah, like what's his best win? Scrolling through, he beat Benil Darush. Um,
Yeah, that could definitely be it.
his Kimura on Condit was good. He Tony Ferguson, Max Stern, Court McGee, Nico Price. Yeah, the last couple of years he's just been kind of fighting not the most dangerous people. Well, no, that's the thing, I feel like that was just a consistency. He lost to Luke Gay and Brady.
Yeah,
I don't want to say his best win is Neil Magny. Uh, he lost
that
to
is wild that
Pettis.
he is on a 4-fight win streak right now.
Yeah.
But my favorite era from him was when he beat Carlos Conduit and then beat Diego Sanchez, RDA, then Neil Magny. That
I
was a
mean, I
fun
think
era
actually
for
it
him.
was the Benil Darush point, and that's in the height of Conor Mania. Because
Yeah,
remember, at one point he was booked to fight Tony, it got canceled, and then
yeah,
there's his big, huge fight with Kevin Lee.
yeah. I didn't realize how streaky he was. 3-fight win streak, then he goes into a 2-fight
Yeah.
losing, and then 4-fight win,
It,
3-fight
it's
lose, 4-fight win.
That's the thing. He was one of those guys that like he was great on like I hate to say it because going back and looking, he might have been in like the top 10, but
Yeah,
he clearly struggled with the top 10 getting past those top 10 fighters, and normally he'd get finished by those guys. He so again he beats a couple guys. You know, he gets finished. He gets Darce choked by Jorge Masvidal back in 2013. Goes on a couple things. He gets cut up in a fight.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Goes on a 3-fight win streak, choked out by Kevin Lee, armbarred by Anthony Pettis. Goes on a win streak again, choked out by Vicente Luque. Decision by Sean Brady, but then choked out by Kevin Holland. Then now he's on another 4-fight win streak. He's retiring, so that's good.
The
He
highest
has his
ranked,
commentary career.
he
So.
reached number 5 in the welterweight division in 2021 after his victory over Neil Magny. That's the highest he ever went.
Yeah, and that's actually really high. With Neil Magny, really that was on Neil Magny's run, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he beat Carlos Conduit, Diego Sanchez, RDA, then Neil Magny. I mean, that's in
Yeah, but
2020.
Condit and Sanchez were washed back then.
Yeah,
RDA was definitely past prime, but
yeah.
yeah, I guess RDA was solidly in the. Let me look actually.
Yeah, but I bet the UFC is
2020.
pushing him so they get the fight with him and Vincent Luque. And then he got
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely darce
at
choked.
that point, this is past. That was past RDA's run. He was going on. He was actually in the middle of a losing streak then. What 2021 Magny? Um,
Oh, thinking of Randy Brown, Kevin
yeah, no.
Holland is
So
fighting Randy Brown
when
next.
when he fought Chiesa, Magny was on a 3-fight win streak against Li Zhangli, Anthony Rocco Martin, and Robbie Lawler.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's why he was so high. Then yeah, and then yeah, that was kind of the it. He lost to Chiesa. Then that's when he starts the win loss, win loss, win loss, win loss, basically till now until wow.
yeah,
So it was Chiesa that fucked up Magny's run.
yeah. I forgot about that. Oh, well, you want to get into the
Sometimes when
next
you
fight?
get the guys that just fight, sorry, it's when you get guys that
Yes.
just fight all the time, he's like, "What started that?" And it's like, "Oh yeah." All
Yeah.
right, what was that?
You want to get into the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. One last thing.
Go ahead.
What did you think about the retirement thing with Nico Price retiring on? Okay, here's the way I view it. I know Nico's a little mad. Apparently, he's calling shit at DC for not interviewing him because Nico, I guess, said he was also going to retire that night,
Yeah.
and they didn't give him an interview.
If Nico Price made it known prior that he is going to
Yeah.
retire, then I understand his complaints.
DC said. So here's the thing that I feel, to be honest. I feel like you're kind of like going to someone else's birthday party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then and you're like, your birthday's the next day.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm just going to celebrate my birthday a day early
Yeah.
at your birthday party. And now we're going to have everyone sing happy birthday to the two of us. I kind of feel a little bit that way about it, to be honest. Because it's like, bro, you came in as a late replacement for Michael Chiesa's retirement fight. You lose in like a minute. And like, he sits there throwing out. I felt bad for him. I do like Nico Price, to be honest. I like him a lot. He's so fun. But it's like it's kind of weird for you to retire then. And like, yeah, obviously it got made worse by him just patiently waiting, and DC ended up ignoring him. So that's rough.
It was just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just rough.
Yeah.
Like, I don't blame Nico Price, but I don't blame DC either.
Well, I think DC even kind of says like it'd be kind of weird to go interview the guy that lost after he just did the retirement package
Yeah.
for Chiesa.
Yeah, I don't blame DC.
Nico had a great career too. You know, I wish him well.
Wish
Same
you
with
well,
Chiesa.
Nico.
We're going to be seeing Chiesa.
Nico will come back next year. He's gonna need money, I bet, or something weird.
All right, let's get into the next fight. Off rip. Alexa Grasso gets a round 1 KO to choke against Macy Barber. Kelby,
Yes.
is this the best finish that you have seen in women's MMA?
Okay, let me take you back to last Saturday. I'm
Okay.
sitting here, right here in this very seat, looking at the TV that's over there, and I'm struggling with YouTube at this point. So I started watching this fight. I was like, let me see what happens, and I about screamed when she knocked her out. And I was like, she's
Mhm.
out. She is done. She is done. And then she goes down, goes in and goes for the submission and chokes her out. Well, not really chokes her out, but gets the choke in.
And choked her while she was unconscious.
Yeah. They started
A
bringing up.
good double tap.
I think even the ref was like shocked also.
Yeah, I
But
think
she
the
didn't really look like she got. The way she fell was funny.
yeah.
So,
She just kind of like,
wasn't
but
the.
yeah, I
I
think
mean, it's
may,
top three greatest women knockouts I've seen in a long time.
it's like it might be number two. I don't
Yeah.
think
It's
number
not
one
number one.
still Holly still has it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
number one's Holly Holm, but
Holly has it. Yeah. Sorry, Rhonda. It was iconic.
yeah,
You know what I mean? It's one of the best knockouts of all time, but especially in women's MMA. It's also so important, but this it's up there. And then like the other one I have to say was Jessica Andrade's slam KO over was it Rose? Yeah,
yes,
Rose. The
yes,
slam KO on Rose. I think those are like the top three, but yeah, I think this beat the slam.
yeah. I put this at. I was saying like that's why I said top three. I was like, it's not really one, but somebody told me two or three, maybe even four.
Yeah,
I wouldn't argue too much against it.
yeah. And I gotta say one thing. I was wrong. I was absolutely picking Macy Barber. I
Well,
thought
a
Alexa
lot
was
of people did.
done.
A lot of people
I
did.
thought she was on the. I thought Macy was the future. Macy's awesome. She is
Hmm.
so good. Yeah, I know she talks all that smack, but whatever. She's great, and whoo, she got lit up.
No, she really did. Um, Alexa, that I mean, you shocked the world.
Yeah. So what does that do for Alexa Grasso in the women's flyweight division?
I don't
Obviously,
know.
Natalia Silva still has the next title fight.
And she lost to Natalia Silva in her last fight.
Yeah.
And then she lost to Valentina Shevchenko in the previous fight.
Yeah.
She didn't win since March 4th of 2023 against Valentina Shevchenko by submission.
Yeah, I mean, against Shevchenko, I
Yeah.
mean, that does a lot.
So beats Shevchenko, loses to Shevchenko, then loses to Silva, and then gets the win against one of the biggest upcoming women flyweight stars that they were really pushing and hoping would get it.
You can do Blanchfield, can't you? Have they fought yet?
I couldn't hear you.
You can do Blanchfield, can't you?
I don't think she's
Have they
ever
fought yet?
2022, no. 21, no. Oh, she beat Macy
Okay.
Barbie in 21.
Yeah, no, but this was a rematch. It was
Yeah.
Barber's first loss.
Yeah. Gosh,
But
I'm in 2018 now, and she has not fought
yeah,
her.
yeah, and I looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Aaron Blanchfield you can do. I don't know. I mean, that what a. It's like okay, I can't say I want to see her go fight Shevchenko again, but
No.
like, you know,
I mean, it would be the trilogy.
damn. They already did. Didn't they already do three fights?
No, they've only fought twice.
Mm.
Pretty
All
sure.
right.
You can double check that, but I think they're 1-1.
Mm. That's okay. I don't know what to say about the fight. Go watch it. It is
Yeah.
kind of hard to watch.
I mean,
Mason 1,000 yard stare after.
yeah. Oh, it was very hard to watch. It was brutal.
Yeah, I mean but that that is why and what was so great about it? Like I was
Mm.
tired. I
Yeah.
was tired watching. It didn't end that late. I was tired watching. It was a long day for me. That fight, I was wired. I was
Yeah.
up. I was up the rest of the night because of
Yeah.
that that
The
finish.
Izzy.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Especially when we got the Izzy
Uh,
fight right after.
yeah, and that was great because it gave me that pickup to watch my heart break because Israel Adesanya loses in a second round knockout to Joe Be Like Joe Pfeiffer.
Yeah. At one point in the fight, I thought Izzy was going to get the finish.
Izzy was absolutely kicking his ass all of round one. Obviously, Pfeiffer had the dangerous power. Izzy was respecting it. He was taking him apart. The leg kicks,
Yeah,
Kelby, the leg kicks. And then Izzy's doing great. He's landing hard. Pfeiffer's limping, and Izzy stands in front of him. And it's like, okay, let's stand and bang. And it's like, why would you do that?
yeah.
And wow, yeah. I
Izzy
mean,
made the
yeah,
wrong decision at the wrong time
it
against the wrong guy.
didn't respect, like Pfeiffer. He was losing that fight and he was getting beat up, but like
Yeah. If
Izzy
Izzy kept the
gambled
distance, he would have
against a
won.
power puncher and he ended up on the wrong side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Damn.
respect what Pfeiffer said at the end of the fight too. Very respectful of him.
Mm.
Um, yeah, no, like you said, just if he didn't, I don't know, I don't want to say he didn't, he took the bait, but Izzy definitely should have kept his distance
Izzy should
instead of
have
trying to
kept
get a finish
doing what
there.
he was doing
Mm,
instead of squaring up, and trading. Like
yeah,
he was more elusive. He was landing. He could, and like frankly, take the step back and just keep up with the kick. Like Pfeiffer, he didn't have anything, and but damn, it landed. Once Pfeiffer got him down, you're seeing like the remember that? Did you see that shot? It's just like the wheezing from Adesanya, like when the camera's on him, he's facing up, in that whatever the position was, and it just like looks completely exhausted. It's like, wait a minute, that's like I know Izzy's not exhausted in the second round. You know
no,
what I mean? But just like I know he's not just so unprepared for a takedown either, even though he is mostly better against the fence than in open space. But it's like I think Izzy's had a long career in MMA now.
yeah,
But yeah, keep in mind he had such a long kickboxing career. I think the damage
yes.
has finally caught up, and yeah, I think Izzy might be. I don't want. He's not washed, but
No, Izzy's very
Joe
talented.
Pfeiffer is the worst person he's ever lost to, and
Yeah,
that's no disrespect to Joe Pfeiffer. That's just a fact.
yeah. No, Israel Adesanya is very talented of a fighter and always will be. But after a
He's the
while, the
second
mileage
best
does add
middleweight of
up.
all time.
Yeah, no, but after a while, the mileage does add up, and sometimes you get to the point in your career where you definitely got to look at it and just be either A, he needs to just only do kind of more of the money fights, just take on some fun fights. He's not going to get back up into the top of the rankings again. He won't be able to
Oh
sustain a win
no,
streak like that. Or he just
it's
goes ahead and just
he's
retires.
not going to be in the top 10 anymore. I don't think. Let me look.
But he needs, yeah, like I said, either A, he needs to retire really soon.
He's
Not,
number 9.
yeah, that makes sense.
Number 10 is Robert Whitaker, and he's leaving the division.
Yeah. Izzy did have a lot of. I mean, he is older. When you get older, you have a really hard time with the weight cuts, and this was the worst weight cut he ever had to deal with. He looked like a pure skeleton when you weighed him. He usually
Yeah,
looks kind of rough, but he never looked that rough before. There were so many videos online I saw about that. People are saying that he needs to either A, move up, or B, this is just it's just getting to him.
yeah. So here, let me go through his losses really quick. So his first loss in the UFC. Keep in mind, he's already a champion on after his third title defense. He
Yeah,
moves up to fight Jan Blachowicz for double champ status. That was Izzy's first loss in the UFC against
yeah,
Jan Blachowicz, a champion in a double champ fight.
yes,
He then goes back down, defends another three.
yeah,
So he defended his title 6 consecutive times. That's
yes.
something to keep in mind with Izzy. You
No,
know, like
I mean,
like again, he is the second best middleweight of all time. It's just the back half after that, it doesn't get much better.
no,
Gets knocked out against Alex Pereira, avenges his loss against Alex Pereira. And yeah, I think he put everything in that fight because now he's on a 4-fight losing streak. Sean Strickland, Dricus du Plessis, Nasruddin Imavov, and Joe Pfeiffer. But here's the thing: Pereira, Blachowicz, Strickland, du Plessis, all champions.
yes.
You know what I mean?
No, it's just
All of them champions, and all those losses in championship fights.
yeah.
Nasruddin Imavov, his first non-champion loss, but he is the number one contender. Joe Pfeiffer was ranked 13 going into this fight.
Yes.
He is by far. I mean, put Pfeiffer against Imavov, for example. Imavov easily beats Pfeiffer.
Yes. Piper's got a
Yeah.
Piper can make a run in the division if he keeps fighting like that.
Yeah. So who do you think Pfeiffer's next fight should be? I like his power. I feel like his game plan's a little. It's basic, and like I'm not saying that in a bad way because basic like Glover Teixeira had a very basic game plan. He became a champion. He's beloved, amazing fighter. So I'm not trying to be insulting when I say basic, but he
Yeah.
doesn't have a weapons. He relies mostly on his power, forward pressure. He's good at swarming and getting the dragging them to the ground, and then he's pretty good at laying effective ground and pound.
Yeah.
But his strength really forms in like almost like clubbing attacks almost. He does have like the good straights here and there, but it's like kind of more of thudding type power, it seems like. I'm not sure. I'm curious how his power carries as he goes up the division.
I don't know who he should. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, he could do against Anthony Hernandez. Anthony Hernandez is on a loss. Kyle
Yeah, I like Anthony. I
win.
like
Brendan
Anthony.
Allen's won. Imavov is on a win. Anthony Hernandez
Howard
would.
also just beat Renier de Ritter. That's a fun. That'd be a tough. That'd be a real tough fight.
Yeah, I was looking at
Um,
a Ritter too.
I mean, Brennan Allen, Allen's like, he was on a tear except for that Hernandez and Imavov losses, right?
Yeah, but he beat Ritter there.
Yeah, he showed DeRitter had no place in the top
No.
five. Like DeRitter was on about to get a title fight,
Yeah.
and he put an end to that real quick.
Yeah, he saved him from Hamzat.
Yeah, Brendan Allen's good, but yeah, like so. Yeah, let's just go through those then. Above Joe Pfeiffer is Anthony Hernandez, Kyle Borralho, Brendan Allen, Sean Strickland, Nasruddin Imavov, Dricus Duplessis, and Khamzat Chimaev. Strickland is currently getting the next title fight against Khamzat Chimaev. I don't know. Kyle Borralho is booked for a fight, I think, right? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I think one of those guys. I can't remember. But who above Joe Pfeiffer do you think he can beat, or do you think he should fight someone below him?
Personally, I want him to fight Ritter. If not, I want him to go
The
after
Ritter?
Anthony Hernandez.
Yeah. I
So I'll
like
see how
both
he
of them.
does against that style.
I would love Joe Pfeiffer versus Gregory Rodriguez. Two absolutely slugging titans walking forward and just cracking on each other.
Yeah. I mean, Gregory
Obviously,
Rodriguez would be fun too.
I think that was a great fight, but of course, now that Joe Pfeiffer's up here, yeah, again,
It
he
ain't gonna
jumped
happen.
8 spots in the rankings.
Yeah.
I guess
It's not.
Anthony Hernandez is the logical fight,
Yeah.
right?
I think Anthony Hernandez is the most logical
Him
in
or Brendan
person.
Allen.
Yeah. But Anthony Hernandez has such a different style than Joe Pfeiffer. I don't know how to go.
Yeah. I mean, Anthony, he's scrappy on the feet. I think, well, I mean, Anthony Hernandez looked pretty bad in his last fight. And again, I was disappointed because I was really rooting for him. I have confidence. I think Anthony Hernandez could still beat Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm really high on him. So I think he can beat DeRitter, but I am a booster. Or not DeRitter, Pfeiffer, but I am a booster of his. But that was UFC Seattle. Amazing card, best card of the year. And
Yes.
again, like, wow, that was good.
And this is the reason why you guys need to watch every time, every week, because sometimes the
Well,
cards that are
well, so don't be going too much because I think they could skip this week's card.
okay, you guys should watch 95% of the weeks because this next card, we were dreading, not really dreading, but it's
I don't know what to talk about. I don't
Yeah,
have. Let's just say this really quick. I think
yeah,
everyone realizes this. There's levels to UFC cards.
yeah,
Apex cards are the worst. Sometimes Apex stuff is good, but Apex cards are normally the worst. When they're on the road, they're normally good. On the road, taking the cities. Frankly, I think when they do the cities in America in particular, they're really good.
yeah,
Like, yeah, UFC London's normally good, but like that's haven't hasn't been as good in recent years. Whenever they go to Australia, they're normally pretty good. There's a lot of good Australian
yeah,
fighters currently, but again, they do play favorites. Same with honestly, when they do the Middle Eastern cards like the Arabian Peninsula cards in like UAE and Riyadh, those are
yeah,
normally good as well because they can bring other people in. But again, a lot of the more local guys and stuff like that. So it's like when they do the American city cards like Seattle and they go around, I've always found those cards to be some of the best. I wish they did more of them and less of the Apex. And obviously the pay-per-views or the number cards are always at the top. Rightfully so. But like I remember the fight nights used to be so fun. Like I remember watching was it Gustafin headline a card and like they were in Sweden.
yeah.
It's like UFC Sweden, Gustafin. I forget who it was. I'm like, but that was so, like Ilir Latifi was on the card and
Yeah,
Gunnar Nelson was on the card. And it was like and it was a solid, good action fight card. And it's like, it used to be fun. You had so much like a local flair. The crowds were always amazing.
yeah.
Like and we're not going to get that this weekend at UFC Fight Night Moicano versus Duncan at the Meta Apex. 13 fights on the card, buddy. Three ranked fighters.
I don't even know what to say. I'm rooting for on. I'm just gonna talk the main event fight. Chris Duncan. I mean, he did beat Terrence McKinney in his last fight. Ronaldo is on a losing streak. I want Chris Duncan to win. This is his biggest chance to keep moving up through the ranks. Ronaldo's already been up there, but who did Ronaldo lose to? He lost to somebody big.
Makachev. He lost more recently than that.
Yeah, he lost to Beneil Dariush and Islam
Yeah.
in
Yeah, he
2020.
got a title fight. It's like I mean, I can't believe Moicano got a title fight, man.
Yeah,
But like he did get that. I mean, it was a doctor stoppage against Benoit Saint Denis, but he looked decent in that fight.
yeah,
He beat Jalen Turner, but that was a weird Jalen Turner.
yeah,
Um, and then Drew Dober and Brad Riddell are not, yeah. Moicano, he is a guy that damn he earned it. He
yeah.
earned it. He's a fun fighter. I don't think he's going to go anywhere because people love him. He's 12-7, so he's still positive. Not the best record. Man, I can't say I'm too familiar with Chris Duncan. He is, 6-1 in the UFC. His only loss was to Manuel Torres back in 2024 on a four-fight win streak. His last one being against Terrence McKinney.
Yeah.
Um, is Terrence McKinney his best win in the UFC? Yeah, he
Yes.
had a four-fight thing in Bellator or whatever. It just I don't know Chris Duncan that well. I mean, like, you know, he got the guillotines, you know what I mean? But like, it's one of those things where
It's a fight for us to see how he does.
if he's going to be a title prospect in the future, he needs to beat Moicano.
Yes.
Like that's just how it needs to be.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. This is the fight to see. Does he deserve to even be considered for ranking?
Yeah, he beats him, he will be ranked.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about the co-main really quick. Unless you have anything else to say about Moicano and Chris
No, we talk
Duncan.
about Comey.
Um, Tabitha Ricci, the seventh ranked women's flyweight, strawweight, taking on Virna Jandiroba. Um,
Vierna's on that.
kind of,
Vierna just lost to Mackenzie Dern. I know that.
yeah, Virna just losing her title fight. Tabitha Ricci, on a one fight win streak. She's mostly wins in the UFC. Her three losses are against Manon Farrow, Lupita Godinez, and Yao Zhan Nan. So, she's beaten most other competition. There's some good names. She beat Jillian Roberson, who's on a really good run right now. She's beaten Angela Hill, who's always a dangerous opponent. She had a good finish against Amanda Ribas. Now she's going against Virna Jandiroba. Is this them trying to usher out Jandiroba from the top five and try to bring in a new contender?
Yeah, that's what the UFC is always trying to do in the
Mm-hmm.
women's division all the time, especially in strawweight. It's just
Yeah, because
it's always their
Virna,
game
it's
plan.
wild. Because Virna, it's funny. It's so funny. Sorry. Because Virna has such good wins. Because she has wins over Yao Zhanan, Amanda Lemos, Lupita Godinez. But the people she lost to are Mackenzie Dern twice,
Yeah,
Amanda Ribas, and Carla Esparza. So it's almost like, Virna has the better wins, but has like, again, it's like more of the top level losses, but like Tabitha Ricci, like Virna has beaten people that Tabitha Ricci has lost to, but Tabitha Ricci has beat some of the people that Virna lost to outside of Mackenzie Dern. So
right.
it's an interesting fight. I'm rooting for Tabitha Ricci. I like her style more than Virna's.
Yeah, let's go Tabitha
What?
Ricci.
Yeah, pretty much. Are there any other fights on this card? Abul Rahman Yakev versus Brenton Ribeiro. He's like a plus 60 or a minus 1600 favorite, so don't bet on that. Here's some
No,
advice for you. Tommy McMillan fighting Manolo Zacchini. Tommy had a really funny interview where he's like, "Yeah, I'm fighting like Manuel Fettuccini or something like that. I don't even know his name. I know I'm going to kick his ass." And he looked a little stoned. But, he's a unranked 9-0 American,
28
making his
years
UFC
old.
debut, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah,
And there's a couple of that in the UFC. Yeah, he had the Contender Series win, and now he's his first fight in the UFC against Zacchini.
yeah.
You know, you know, who's 0-1 the UFC. Lost to Morgan Charrier. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to say on that. I don't know Robert Ruchala or Jose Delano. I don't know Guilherme Pat or Thomas Peterson. Apparently, Thomas Peterson, number 14. Hold on. These Tapology rankings are not heavyweight rankings.
Yeah,
Thomas the Train Peterson,
Thomas the Train Peterson.
yeah, I, it's going to be a heavyweight sloppy fight. Alessandro Costa, Stuart Nicole, I don't know. Lando Venata coming back after, I think, like 3 years against Darius Flowers. Both these guys, I think, are on losing streaks. That's going to be a good fight. That's going to end in a finish. So if you're looking for a fun early fight, that's the one. I would pick Venata. I think he should be the favorite over Flowers. And then, the only other one I would draw attention to is Asmad Bekov taking on Trayshawn Gore. Trayshawn Gore's claim to fame is being from one of the season of Ultimate Fighter, where he was pretty good. Um, but he had to leave early. Of course, he, then got in the UFC, fought Brian Battle, the winner of that season, who just also lost in Bellator or in PFL to Johnny Evelyn. But so Trayshawn lost then, and he hasn't really done the showing, but there's a lot of hype on him. But Bekov is a tough fight for him. Yeah, and then Betkov's best win was that knockout that earned him a performance of the night against Ryan Loder, though he is coming off a loss to Jerzy Bella Gruai from last week's card. Not He didn't lose last week, but that was the last guy he lost to. I don't have anything else to say on this card. Yeah. Oh, I think that's about it. I do have one question to kind of end it with, one little discussion.
What's that?
Did you catch the press conference after last week's card where the media asked Dana White about the use of AI in the promo packages?
I caught a glimpse of it. What exactly was said?
Did you catch Dana White's response?
Mm-hmm. At least I don't remember.
So basically, the reporter asked, "Hey, we basically knows you're using AI in some of the promotional stuff, blah blah blah. Like, what's going on with that?" Asking Dana, and Dana quote,
Yeah.
"Shut the fuck up and watch the fights." And like, it made me laugh too. And it's like, but and I know I'm going to be repeating Luke Thomas here because I know he said this, but like he said it and it's just been like, could you imagine any other like sports owner saying that, or like any other like,
If the head of the NFL, Roger Goodell, was just like,
yeah,
shut the F up,
someone
watch the
asked
Buffalo
like, hey,
Bills.
like what's all this? Don't you think like there's a lot of like concussions that happen in the NFL? Shut the fuck up and watch the tackles.
Yeah.
Wild, wild.
Only in the
I couldn't.
UFC.
Only in the UFC can you get and like that. And you want to know why? Because he knows he has us by the balls, and there's going to be a bunch of people that want this really shitty fight night tomorrow or tonight if you're watching it. And guess what? We're going to be one of them because I'm definitely going to watch a couple fights on the card.
Yeah.
Kelby, I think that's pod. But we have
Yeah.
an outro, so we don't need to do this now. We should
Yeah.
just let it happen
Yeah.
naturally.
You just click it off.
Oh yeah, I can click it off
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah.
I can do it any second now.
Yeah.
This could be now.
It could be now.
This could be time used for advertisement. So if you don't want to hear this, get us some advertisers and do what the outro tells you to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
if
let that
you
happen now.
we'll put them on every short at the end of the short, we're asking for $20.
Give me money and I'll stop.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
See ya.
before we go, the best comment of the week,
Go ahead.
they should start making podcast equipment more expensive.
Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal. They need to make it cheaper. That way it'd be better.
Correct.
Dummy.
Dummy.
And that is a show. Thank you so much for watching Flamingo Fight Talk. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Please follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Be on the lookout for our YouTube Live. See you next time. Stay on the Flamingo side. Peace.